Dan Golvach. I represent myself, and I'm here to support SB 185. Back in 1989, my son Spencer Golvach was born in Houston, Texas, and at that time I had nothing. But when that doctor put that baby in my hands, I can tell you I had everything. And this little boy wasn't just my son, he was my best friend ever. And I want to show you a picture of him when he was about 2. Just like his dad, he loved music and guitars, and not just playing them. He liked to fix them up and customize them and build them. And in fact, when he turned 22, he decided he would try his hand at being a small business owner. And he bought a little guitar shop in Cyfair, Texas, that employed 9 people. Music retail being what it is, he ended up having to take on a second full-time job to keep the doors open, so he was working it pretty hard and paying a lot of taxes. 6 weeks ago, he finally decides to take a night off and go out on a date with his girlfriend for her birthday, and at the end of the night, he drops her off, and on the way back home, in the neighborhood I grew up in, he stops at a red light. And this is when an illegal alien pulled up alongside of him and randomly blew my son's brains out. And this same criminal, 20 minutes later down the road, picked out another motorist by the name of Juan Garcia and blew him away as well. Now, as it turns out, this foreign invader had a violent rap sheet that dated back to 2001. It included felony assaults, burglaries. He was deported 4 times. He did 63 months in a federal prison. When he was released in 2010 and deported for the 4th time, of course, he turns right back around and waltzes illegally over our border and gallops on up to the sanctuary city of Houston, Texas, where he knew he could operate without having to worry so much. Now, this is my son. You see this? This is him 2 weeks before he was killed, before he was murdered. I don't know what sanctuary cities mean to everybody else, but I'm going to show you what it meant to me and my family. This. That's right. Take a look at it. That's my son. Okay? Now, you senators, you have a decision to make in regards to SB 185. I'm just asking that when you make this decision, you remember this picture. And try to imagine one of your children in this coffin and ask yourself, would I be willing to pay this price for the continuation of sanctuary cities? And do I believe that other Texans and other Americans should be subjected to this so we can continue with this policy that does not allow us to know who's amongst us and ends up in a tragedy like this? Let me tell you something. You don't want to get that 6 a.m. knock on the door like we did and look out the window and see 2 cops and a chaplain and hear those hellish words, and then the sobbing starts and it crescendos into wailing, and your life is never the same again. So please push this bill forward so we can start enforcing the laws that are already on the books. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Golvach.
And can I give there's a couple of senators that aren't present now, and can I get some of these pictures in a packet to them?
If you would, let me ask you to provide them to the clerk.
Yes.
If it's okay to give you originals, she would have to make copies if you need to keep your originals, but if you're able to part with them and you have other originals, then that way she can...
Because one of them ran away from it last week, and I want her to take a good look at it.
Well, the clerk will make sure that it's provided to the members of the committee as well as those guest senators that were here earlier today. Thank you, Mr. Golvach. Thank you.